Hello friends, welcome back to Kaydanivato. In today's video, we are going to discuss chapter 26 of Bhartiya Nagrik Suraksha Sanhita. This chapter deals with the general provisions as to inquiries and trials. This chapter includes section 337 to 366. So let's break it down in simple language. Section 337, person once convicted or acquitted not to be tried for the same offence. A person who has already been tried and convicted or acquitted by a competent court shall not be tried again for the same offences while that conviction acquittal remains in force. There are carefully defined exceptions. For example, distinct offences with the state government consent, offences whose consequences were unknown at first trial or where the first court lacked the jurisdiction. This chapter explains that the person once convicted or acquitted should not be tried same offence again. Section 338, appearance by public prosecutor. The public prosecutor as assistant public prosecutor in charge of a case may appear and plead in the court dealing with that cases, inquiry, trial or appeal without any separate written authority. Section 339, permission to conduct prosecution. A magistrate may permit prosecution to be conducted by the person other than low rank police officers below inspector. However, advocate general, government advocate, public prosecutor and assistant public prosecutor may conduct prosecution without leave. A police officer who took part in the investigation cannot conduct the prosecution. Any permitted person may prosecute personally or through an advocate. Section 340, right to be defended. Any person accused before a criminal court or against whom proceedings are instituted has the right to be defended by an advocate of their choice. Section 341, legal aid to accused at state expenses in certain cases. If an accused is presented in the court finds they cannot afford counsel, the court must assign an advocate at state expense. The High Court may make rules about selection and procedure. Section 342, procedure when a corporation, a registered society is an accused. A corporation including societies registered under the Societies Registration Act may appoint a representative for the inquiry or trial. Procedural acts required in presence of the accused will be taken as satisfied if done in the presence of that representative and certain written certification of the appointment are presumptive evidence. Section 343, tender of pardon to accomplice, approver. To obtain the evidence of a person believed to be directly or indirectly concerned in an offence, certain magistrate or courts may tender a conditional pardon to that person provided they make a full and true disclosure of all circumstances and person involved. Strict condition and limitation apply. Section 344, power to direct tender of pardon. The court to which a case is committed may also tender such pardon to a suspected accomplice to secure their testimony at trial, subject to condition laid down by the statute. Section 345, trial of person not complying with condition of pardon. If a person who accepted a pardon letter willfully conceals material fact or gives false evidence, the public prosecutor may certify that they failed to comply and they may be tried for the offence or related offences and for giving false evidence subject to procedural safeguard such as section requirements for certain offences. Section 346, Power to postpone or adjourn proceeding. Court and magistrate have a statutory power to postpone or adjourn proceeding, but the statute sets limits and safeguards to prevent adjournments being granted merely for delay. Section 347, Local Inspection. The court may, where necessary for the just decision of a case, inspect the scene, property or other material in person. Local inspection and record findings. Section 348, Power to summon material witnesses or examine person present. Court may summon material witnesses or examine person present who can give material evidence relevant to the inquiry or trial. Section 349, Power to order specimen signature or handwriting. A magistrate may order a person to give a specimen signature or handwriting for comparison when reasonably necessary for the case. Section 350, Expenses of the complainants and witnesses. The statute provides how cost and expenses of the complainants and witnesses are to be regulated and reimbursed in certain circumstances. Section 351, Power to examine the accused. The court has power to examine the accused and the statute describes the manner and purpose of such explanation. For example, for clarification of evidence. Section 352, Oral arguments and memorandum of arguments. Parties are allowed oral arguments and courts can require written memorandum. The provision governs admission and treatment of these arguments. Section 353, Accused person to be competent witnesses. Subject to BNSS rules, the accused is the competent to give evidence for her own defense. The statute clarifies the circumstances and limits. Section 354, No influence to be used to induce disclosure. The BNSS prohibits improper influence to induce disclosure from accused witnesses. Court must be ensure voluntariness and fairness. Section 355, Inquiries and trials in absence of the accused in certain cases. BNSS specifies limited circumstances where the proceeding may continue in the absence of the accused. For example, when accused absent despite summons or in certain summary matters, safeguards apply. Section 356, Inquiry, trial or judgment absent of the procurement offender. The statute allows the proceeding and even judgment in the absent where accused has been duly proclaimed as a proclaimed offender, but steps for proclamation and safeguards are prescribed. Section 357, Procedure where accused does not understand proceedings. Where the accused does not understand the language or the nature of the proceeding, the court must ensure appropriate translation or assistance before the proceeding. Section 358, Power to proceed against other person appearing to be guilty. Courts may during inquiry trial take step against other persons who on the evidence appear guilty of offences connected with the matter. Section 359, Compounding of offences. The BNSS allows in specified cases offences to be compounded, settled between parties in the manner and to the extent allowed by the statute. Section 360, Withdrawal from prosecution. The prosecution authority state may withdraw from the prosecution in the manner provided by BNSS subject to judicial scrutiny where required. Section 361, Procedure in cases which magistrate cannot dispose of. In a magistrate cannot dispose of a case, for example, because the charge is beyond its power, BNSS prescribes the procedure for transferring or committing the matter. Section 362 procedure when after commencement of inquiry trial magistrate finds case should be committed. If a magistrate finds after starting inquiry or trial that matter should be committed to a higher court, rules for committal are provided. Section 363 trial of person previously convicted of a specified offence. BNSS deals with the specific procedure where persons previously convicted of certain offences like stamp coining, property offences are tried under special rules. Section 364 procedure when magistrate cannot pass sentence sufficiently severe. When a magistrate lacks power to pass an adequate sentence, the BNSS prescribe committal or reference to a court with appropriate sentencing power. Section 365 conviction or commitment on evidence partly recorded by one magistrate and partly by another. BNSS clarifies how to deal with evidence and decisions when different magistrates have recorded parts of the proceedings to ensure continuity and validity. Section 366 Court to be open. The place where a criminal court sits shall be deemed an open court to which the public generally may have access, subject to reasonable limits for convenience, privacy or security. So friends, this was the chapter 26 which we break down. If you find this breakdown is useful to you, then like, share and subscribe. We will meet soon with next chapter. Till then, bye, take care, Jai Hind, stay connected with Kaydanivato.